The Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is back in April next year with a flat and fast course, an amazing atmosphere and heaps of fun. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au before this very popular event sells out.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place?
Welcome to episode number 415 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. Huge show coming at you this week. We've got Chicago Marathon. Some big results over there. Melbourne Marathon Festival happened as well. We'll get into the details about that race. Perth Running Festival, Moose on the Loose. I've got a couple of things written down to talk about as well. Listener question. And I'm hoping to get the winner from yesterday's Melbourne Marathon, Caitlin Adams, on the air at some stage tonight as well. Welcome, my co-host is down in Anglesea. Julian Spence, how are you this week?
I'm good, mate. I much prefer recording in the evening. Feel a little more relaxed, a little less antsy to get into the day's work. So I'm going to push for the evening record from now on.
We have been during the day the last couple of weeks, haven't we? I don't mind it during the day. I feel for my wife when I do it during the night because it's chaos at our house at 7 p.m. when we record, and she's got to do that solo.
That is probably why I like recording in the night.
Yeah, our other co-host is a 2:17 marathoner. Is up in Canberra. Brad Grgec, how are you this week?
Good, Brady. I much prefer the daytime recordings compared to the nighttime ones. I find it takes a while to settle down after recording, so sometimes it impacts my sleep Monday nights.
Yeah, and you can't watch TV. Like we've been watching that Severance on Apple TV. You watch that?
Nah, been watching Ted Lasso.
Yeah, wow. Get on Severance next. Apple TV, same system. Yeah, so like we just like to watch one episode a night. It's like the highlight of my day, sitting down with the wife and watching some TV. Can't do that on a Monday night, Moose.
But hey, we get to talk about running.
Oh, and there's a lot to talk about, Croaks. A lot to talk about this week. I'm looking forward to unpacking it all with you two boys. What about weekly recaps first, though? Moose, you want to go first?
Wow, I think I could be fitter than you, Croaks.
I'm not fit.
Nah, I reckon I'm the king now. I'm back.
I saw him yesterday in person, and he looks fit as well, Croaks.
Did you notice that? Because I've been doing a lot in the gym lately.
I legit walked from you to like up the Shrine Hill and I bumped into Zach there and I said I saw you and I'm like, hey, he looked fit and he looked good. He had the like, you know, those glasses that have like the pink like lenses in them, Croaks?
Yeah.
And he had this really like good, like he could tell he worked on his fit.
No, I didn't, but let me,
I'm complimenting you.
Every time I go to Japan, I get sucked in by the fashion over there and I normally buy something that I never ever wear again. I think, oh, this is the coolest shit ever. I'm going to buy this. And then
like those sandals, Moose.
No, they're good. I'll keep wearing them. I've bought like a big long ass trench coat one time and never worn it before. And then this time I saw these like sunnies. We went to did a bit of a retail visit. They're called Air Wing. And I'm like, this is the most Japanese sunglasses I've ever seen in my life. They've got these little pads that sit on the side of your temple that like push the glasses away from your nose. So none of the frame touches your face except for the temple bit. So I had a crack at them. They're a bit weird.
No, you pulled them off. I thought it was Oakley. I was going to like hit up Zach and be like, let's do some deals with Oakley. get them sponsoring the show. But Air Wing, is that what I've got to Google?
I think it's called Air Wing. They don't sell them in Australia. I had to buy them through one of these third-party courier systems where they actually buy it for you and then they get it shipped to their warehouse and then they send it to me because they don't internationally ship. Yeah, funny looking things. Anyway,
No, you looked good. You looked good.
thanks. Yeah, I've
And
been doing
the
I've been
pink
doing a bit more
lens is a
upper
real
body.
thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, the pink lens, it's called a trail lens. So the idea is that it makes it a bit clearer when you're running trails and you're going from dark to light. So you get a bit of UV protection. It's not a lot. It's not like if you're going to go out at 2 a.m. I mean 2 p.m. in the middle of the day and it's full sunlight, you're probably not getting much protection, but it's good for running when I run like 7 a.m. But
Okay.
different. Yeah.
Look good, feel good, running good. Tell us about the week.
Well, I'm running better. I'm definitely feeling better when I run. I don't know whether it's due to the gym work that I'm doing, but I'm waking up fresher, waking up with less ankle soreness, like less stiffness through my back and my legs, and I'm feeling poppier when I run. And it's a really nice feeling to have. So I started the week. I did 9K just on the way home from work. I just parked out at the chocolate factory here and just jogged on these dirt roads. I've been prioritizing dirt as much as I can. So that was all right, 10K or so. Stopped on the way home from work again. I might be feeling better because I'm running later in the day, and that's been pretty. I guess it's better for work. I get to work earlier. I crack on with the work, and then I leave a bit earlier, and then I've been running on the way home. So this is a dirt road loop. I did a couple of loops, did some accelerations at the end. This is something Jordo got me on, boys, when he came over and stayed with me. We did a run and I did some strides afterwards, and he saw what I was doing. He's like, no, don't do that. Do this. And at the time I didn't give a shit. I'm like, oh mate, you're lucky I'm doing a stride. I'm not going to do these professional looking things. And it was all about accelerations. Like first, I think it was like every 10 seconds, pick the pace up for a 30-second surge.
That's why you run so well, mate. You got Jordo in your corner.
Coach only coaches the biggest guns.
He started his new job today as well. Monday.
Did
he? Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think he was in the plane today.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it might have been
they're
difficult.
they're a day behind as well.
For those wondering, he's at Nike now from on, sat out like a, what do you call it? Do not compete sort of clause. And then works for Nike now in their innovation team. So it'd be good to get him on the podcast. Might be a bit harder this time around.
Yeah,
A few more hoops to jump through for Nike.
Wouldn't it be great if we get to a stage where they pitch him? It's like, we're happy to pay for this person to be on the show. I'm like, Jordo Donnelly.
Yeah, but there'll still be a Nike person sitting in. And they'll have to go to their legal team.
Yeah, and with Jordo, they'll find a lot of stuff to cut. Yeah.
So that was my Tuesday. Wednesday, I went out and just ran from home, one pair of shoes, hilly loop. Decided to do 15 by minute on, minute off. Just dirt roads, some pretty sharp pinches in this. The ons weren't crazy. They were like, I don't know, if I was running on the flat, probably like 320s, 315s, 320s. And then the jogs were jogs. This was an interrupted run too. I think I went to the bathroom at one point, and then I saw my mum and my sister at another point. So mid-workout stopped, didn't really care. It was a tough run. It's a tough loop at the best of times, but to do repeats with it on it makes it more difficult. And one thing about not having a good base behind you is the hills. They really elevate your heart rate, and the intervals elevate your heart rate, but it takes a long time to jog or a long downhill for the heart rate to actually go down. So some of these 1 minute intervals I did uphill, and then I was trying to jog off that still uphill, and it was just game over. Like I just had no second gear for the next interval. It was pretty much just like get to the top of the hill and start again. The next morning, jogged just 2 laps of the river. It's the flat spot we got here. Friday morning, did a workout, 5 by 6 minutes at threshold on the treadie. It was like, so this was Friday. Marathon was Sunday. this was some of the worst weather I've ever seen. And it wasn't raining. It wasn't cold. It wasn't hot. It was just it would have been like 80 kilometer an hour gusts of wind. Like I've got trees down in the backyard, and this was 2 days before the race. And I thought, oh, this could be one of the nastiest Melbournes on record. So I didn't get out for this workout. I stayed indoors and just ran to threshold heart rate, whatever, like 170. Next day, again, very windy. Ran 10K and then headed up to like the wind on this one had the pace up to like negative 21 seconds for Medio pace, plus 7.9%. I listened to the UK Monthly. You boys listen to that yet?
I'm about halfway through.
Could be the first time they've actually put a conversation together like that's got a bit of structure to it. When you get them together, there's actually some pretty good brains in there, and they can really articulate stuff well.
Some good educational chat in the first half.
Yeah.
About people overtraining more than anything I got from the first half.
Yeah. And just hearing someone like Dan Nash, who's so scientific and does everything to like, he gives you all this training that's around heart rate and stuff. And then you still see him go out and rip his last repeat of the workout. And in my head, I'm like, he's just another runner. Like he's not that disciplined. We all got it in us where we want to rip the last repeat.
Did the other two boys give it to him about Brady's situation?
No,
or did they let him off the hook?
They let him off the hook there. I think we've had enough of a crack cracks.
I've listened to that part, and they were good. There was a good conversation around that.
Yeah, I think he's
too hard on himself. He's like, I take full responsibility, and I'm like, no, I was probably not eating properly. Like, yeah it's a blessing in disguise. This is a blessing in disguise. This thing.
I liked the chat anyway. I thought they were good. I thought I actually got a lot out of it with the marathon. A lot of it, I found myself just agreeing with them, which is always, it's always nice when you got a few good minds on there. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think the same way. Laughed at the Josh Lund jokes. That was pretty good. Then that night after dinner, I drove up to Melbourne, stayed the night in Melbourne in the city, so I could get up early and run around the marathon course. And started the run at 6:10. So I jogged down I went down to like the 4K mark, probably, maybe the 3K mark, and was going to wait there, but it was a long break. Like I was going to have to wait for ages. So then I thought, oh, bugger, I'll just keep running. I ran down to Albert Park. Then I ran along and waited at that 7K mark, which is where you're at the southern end of the lake, and then you can duck across the park to see them again at about 11K. And then you get to see them like at Pit Lane, which is probably 14K. And then you see them. No, then it's what do you see them at Pit Lane? What's the distance there?
Yeah, it's like close to 10K, isn't it? Like 10, 11?
It's probably 11. It's about 11K. And then they do a loop, come back down, and you see them again running back towards to exit the park, head down to the beach. Then I ran down the beach, I think it's Beaconsfield Parade, is it? Or Beach Road or whatever, and watched them run up towards Port Melbourne. And just jogged along there, went back as far as maybe like the 3-hour 10 group. I got to a point where I was running about 4:20s, and I was probably running the same pace as the race, just on the footpath next to them. Then ducked back to the park, went to the 10K mark of the half marathon and watched them pass through. And then ran back up, saw you, Brady, after that, at the 34K mark of the marathon, and the half was whatever that is, the 14K mark. Yeah, and then headed up to the tan, watched them on the hill. Boys, that hill in the Melbourne Marathon, that is a serious hill. Like we call Melbourne pretty flat, but I was standing at the top of that hill and looking right, like full down to the bottom, and that was a really long way, and it's a significant hill. Like I've always sort of joked about it. People calling Melbourne like having a hill in it, but I was jogging and I felt that hill, and I looked down and I seeing everyone at the top of it, like definite hill.
It's a stage of the race too, isn't it? Like you've been thinking about it all the way back up St Kilda Road.
Yeah.
You hit it at 34, 35K. Like imagine if they did it first. You go over at 3 or 2K in the race. Wouldn't do the same amount of damage.
Wouldn't even notice it. Yeah.
Just look at now what it is on Strava. Oh, yeah, I got like 4 meters, 17 meters on some persons here. But then the next K, it goes up and then drops. So it doesn't actually give you a good
There'd be
indication.
a segment on it, I reckon. Have a look at the segment.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
And then have a look at the pace. Have a look at the top paces from the weekend.
Yeah, I'll do that while you keep talking.
Yeah. And then I just jogged back to the hotel. Ran 25K for the day. Interesting. I'll click on it. It says an hour 50 for the moving time. But the hour 50 moving time, 2 hours 58 for the elapsed time. So I've spent an hour farting around, watching, talking. It was a bit of a rookie move too, because every time I stopped, then when I start again, I would be super stiff, and it just felt awful. So bodies like mine aren't made for stopping.
Probably a safer way to get through an hour 50 of running though than doing it all in one go, giving you fitness.
Yeah. Fuck, I got hungry. Like at the end, I was just like, gels weren't cutting it. I needed something in my stomach because I was out there so long. Last week, the distance that I ran, 95K. Happy.
It's good.
Felt good. 2 workouts, 1 long run. Keep on keeping on.
It kicks up again after the shrine though, doesn't it? I found one segment, Memorial to the Shrine, which is a K.
Yeah, that'd be that's it. It starts from down the Arts Centre though.
Yeah.
Like under the tunnel
I've
down
just
there.
got this one, like once you turn off that Arts Centre road and go all the way up to the shrine.
Yeah.
Well, Adam Goddard's got the course record. He was flying through there. He ran the 10K. We'll get to him a bit later on. So he ran that K in 3:05, uphill K.
Yeah. But that's actually, the fact that 10K is on there is not quite fair.
Yeah, because all these people in the top 10 have all ran the 10K, I reckon. Like guys like Jordan Williams back in the day, Harry Summers. Let me see. Any marathoners? Andy Buchanan, did he do the 10K maybe in 2016? Nah. Jack Rayner, that would have been 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find any marathoners.
Oh, well.
I can find myself. I can tell you what I was. What was I? Oh, hang on.
Let's guess, Croaks. When you ran the marathon?
I'm 187th.
Let's guess the pace you ran up there. What year was this? The year you cooked it?
Nah, the year I ran 220.
Oh, the year you ran 220.
The December year. And you know what we had to do that year? We went down, and because they were doing roadworks, we had to go back up again. 220, 35 or something like that.
Well, that might screw the segment though if you've had to go.
This was just the up bit. And then we drop back down and then come back up again.
Mid to high 320s?
Yeah, 329.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Toby,
actually pretty good.
We were
by
pretty,
me?
yeah.
No, by Brady. The guess was pretty good, but 329s at that point in the race up a hill like that, not bad.
Toby put the hammer down. We were kind of cruising until then. Then it was a bit of a race up the hill. So he stretched us that day. The memories, fellas, when I used to run marathons, eh?
Yeah.
Good old days.
Did it get you up and about being out there though?
Yeah, but a different up and about. Like, I was just enjoying cheering and stuff and seeing people. And one part of my morning did I feel like, I wanted to be out there. I enjoyed it. Fucking chaos, though. We'll get to it a bit later on. But,
yeah, I was with him for a bit, Croaks. He was trying to make eye contact with every single person that ran past him, trying to get some recognition from them.
I was standing there by myself, Croaks, when he saw me. I'd been standing by myself for the previous hour. Spoke to one listener. That was it.
Every athlete that comes past, he's trying to get a conversation going. Hey, mate, g'day, mate, as they run past. Like, there goes Stewie. Hey, Stewie.
I did not say no, Stewie. You can talk shit.
Well, I heard he spent 2.5 hours outside the MCG on the Saturday afternoon just waiting to be recognised, waiting to set up a booth for selfies.
I was there for 5 minutes getting Carly's bib, got straight in, straight out. Saw one bloke from Bendigo, my old housemate. That was it. Anyway, talking shit. What have you been doing, Croaks?
Fair bit of riding, a little bit, not too much running.
Oh no, what happened? You were
Just
back.
no, yeah, just my shin and calf just got sort of niggly. It's just a real pain in the ass because it's like I don't know what's going on with it because it's had a scan came back fine, and then it just comes and goes. So Monday I rode for 70 minutes and then ran 40 minutes in the afternoon. Tuesday I rode for 90 minutes in the morning and went to the gym. And then Wednesday, I ran for 60 minutes in the afternoon and it was fairly warm. And I'm finding at the moment, I reckon aerobically I'm okay, but 60 minutes when you haven't done a lot of running in the last 2 months is like a long time. And so it was probably too long. And sort of by the time I'd sort of finished that run, I'd sort of been noticing that the runs had been fine. But after the runs, if I pushed on that sort of part of the shin, it was just gradually getting worse. It was just tender. And I'm like, well, it's not a good sign. So then, ran Wednesday for that 60 minutes. Thursday, I rode for an hour 45 in the morning, and then I did 45 minutes on the treadmill. And it was sort of it was like a 1 or 2 out of 10, but it sort of pisses you off when you've had so long out, and it's like, well, what's the point of like starting back or trying to start back when you're not 100%? So then Friday, I had the day off. My parents visited for the weekend, so just did stuff with them and the kids. Saturday morning, I rode for 70 minutes, did like a little bit of a session. Just a pre-programmed session that I found. It wasn't super hard. And then gym. And then yesterday, I rode for 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I ended up doing like just under 8 hours of riding and 32K of running and a couple of gym sessions. So I ran today. I did like 35 minutes. It was okay. Like it's not terrible, but I want it to be 100%. So I'm just going to run when I feel like running and keep riding the bike. And yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
Is there a treatment plan? Like, are you better off just resting it fully, or like getting more treatment on it, or like, you know what I mean? It must be so. Like, I feel like with mine, I'm like just rest for 4 to 6 weeks and then return to run.
Well, the scan hasn't helped me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And if it was a muscle tear, I've had like so long out, and it's I don't think it's a muscle strain because I can go to the gym and do pretty heavy calf raises and I don't feel anything. But it's very inconsistent. You know, sometimes I feel it, sometimes I don't. Even throughout the day, it's like sometimes I can feel it, sometimes I can't, which does maybe lend itself to a bit more neural and back and that sort of thing. But I also sort of realized last week that I probably, just because you can run for an hour or you're back running, so you're like, okay, well, we all know that the best way to get fit is, if you're not really running for an hour, you don't really feel like you're training properly. But I'm probably at the point where I just need to do 35 to 40 minute runs until that actually becomes really, really easy, and then go longer. And the good thing about having the bike there is normally for me, just going out for 30 to 40 minutes, if that's all I'm doing for the day, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm training at all, but I can supplement that with a fair bit of riding. So I think I can get fairly fit, but I just need to probably give my body a bit more time with the length of the runs and the mileage.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a trap you get into when you are used to training at a high level and training high volume over a long period of time to feel like you have to always be adding stress, because that's what gets us fit, is stress that we haven't quite had in the past, and then the adaptions we get from that. And so you come back and you're like, a 30-minute run, this isn't doing anything. Like there's no adaptions from this, but in reality, because you're starting from so far back, there is.
Yeah.
Like
you start thinking about, this used to just be my easy double run, and this is my day's training now.
You just can't think like that anymore.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a whole, like, I still think a little bit like that, and then I get to the end of 40 minutes and think that's probably good today. Like, channel your Dave McNeil. Yeah. Think about, like, just don't rush things, just don't force it.
And that's why having the bike's great, because like I was able to get through still 8 hours of aerobic activity on the bike last week with no real, like good cardio stress, but no mechanical stress on my body.
Yeah, I got a question about this bike. Now, do you pick the colours that you wear on the computer?
We don't need to be talking about his
No,
avatar
I'm interested
colours.
in this. How does he get green? Is that a Mulligan singlet?
Well, now you do have options. I think so. The more you ride, the more levels you move up, and the more levels you move up, the more options you have in terms of changing your bike and your kit.
Oh, okay. So you got to
So
get fitter.
no, you just got to ride more.
Do
Oh.
more.
Yeah.
Bit of gambling kind of aspect in there.
Oh, I
isn't
think
it?
I think you can actually pay as well. I'm like, no way. I'm not like who seriously would people actually pay
Wahoo
money
dollars.
to be able to change their avatar?
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
It's crazy.
Brady, it's a bit like the setup in Canberra, is that you start out as a Mulligan's track club member, and then as you get better, you go to the agony of the feet, and then as you get better, you end up in Team Telford.
This is the worst guy to try and get money out of too. There's no way he's paying these extra subscriptions.
Would you pay for an avatar change, Brady? Or
Give me a couple more weeks injured, Croaks, and if I buy one of these things, I just never know what could happen. But yeah, you see people, the kids at school do it. Like they do like gaming stuff and they got to buy different skins or something like that. I don't know what they are, but they're talking about getting their parents' credit cards and signing them up for that. Just quickly before we get to our guest, I just did a couple of ellipticals this week. I did go on school camp, Croaks, went down to Anglesea, of all places, which was like the worst place in the world because it was like 80k an hour winds. Like the SES is ringing our camp, being like, make sure no one's camping, like trees are dropping everywhere. It was a bit dangerous down there. I did ask Moose if he'd potentially come and speak to the kids, just do a bit of a guest speaking thing, just because kids in Echuca probably don't get, real exposure to Australia representatives, especially maybe some water skiers, but not athletes like Moose. Had this like 15-minute window before movie night, just said, hey, you mind coming down? We're about 800 metres from his house, down the bottom of the hill, not on the top. And I said, we'll do a bit of a Q&A. The kids will get a bit out of it. He just said, nah. Or he said, do you know what I charge for things like this? And just shut it down. Didn't even appear.
so you just had Stall on repeat all night.
Well, yeah, we just played that. Actually, it was a pretty good movie, actually. I'm not sure if we should have showed it, but it was all right. Our next guest, though, fellas, we do have the winner of the Melbourne Marathon here. She won yesterday. She ran a debut marathon in 2 hours, 30, 26 seconds. Caitlin Adams, congratulations on the win and thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. It's, it really hasn't sunk in yet. It's been pretty surreal, but super glad to be back on the show. I think last time was maybe like World Cross Trials like 2.5 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Could have been when I called you as the one to watch, and it's paid off.
I called her as the one to watch.
No,
I went
it was
hard
me,
on that.
and that was a long-term investment paying off now.
Future Melbourne Marathon winner.
The stock has grown since then.
All I know is Croaks is never doing it, but thanks, guys.
Yeah.
He never wins it.
What's the last day and a half been like, Caitlin? Like, does your phone blow up after winning Melbourne Marathon, or is it like, just tell us what happens in your life?
Yeah, it's I've kind of had to like put it aside for a little bit and just really like soak it up myself. And I've obviously sort of been on cloud nine and just it was really nice in Melbourne yesterday being able to like go to a pub and like celebrate with all of like, the Team Tempo crew and, my sports dietitian Bryce Anderson came along and just really like celebrate in person. And then today I flew home pretty early to Adelaide and I had the day off work, which was really nice. Like so glad I did that in hindsight. So have just been able to, like reply to messages and do things like this, which has been awesome.
Go shopping?
No, I think I might have to do the responsible adult thing and put it into the home loan, but I'd love to spend it on something more fun.
When did you make the decision to run, Caitlin? Like we started looking up people on the app a few weeks ago and saw your name pop up, which was pretty exciting for a debut. But when did the seed get planted and the decision get made?
Yeah, it was actually, I have to give full credit to my partner, Lockie Scott. He also coaches at Team Tempo, but he sort of planted the seed with me after my Gold Coast half result. This year for me was all about sort of just new challenges and getting really excited about different opportunities. I didn't have the best year last year. So sorry to Moose and Brady, like the long term, you had to wait a little bit longer to get some return on that investment. But yeah, like I mean, my 2023 was great. Like I made 2 Australian teams and was really happy with my results on those teams. And then last year, I think just, I guess, like going into a full-time, pretty much a full-time like teaching job really took it out of me. And I really struggled to like balance running, and was sort of just going like, is this something I knew I still wanted to run, but it just like, it was really tiring. And then this year I sort of changed some things up, and I know this is a bit of a long-winded answer, but I felt like I wanted to limit the amount of racing I did, but just choose races that really excited me and gave me a challenge. And I think stepping into the half marathon really did that. And, Launceston half this year and Gold Coast were some races that I was really proud of. And then after Gold Coast, Lockie sort of said, hey, like, what's stopping you from doing a marathon? Like, Melbourne could be open to do something cool there. There could be an opportunity to get on the podium, win some money. It's not about that, but it was just, we planted the seed. And Adam was overseas at the time with the World Uni Games team. So it actually took us like a week and a half to properly chat about it and make sure that it was the right decision. And yeah, he was super excited. And pretty much after City to Surf, we started the build. And look, it wasn't the most perfect build. Pretty much the week going into City to Bay, I got sick, and I don't really know what it was. I didn't test positive for anything, but I missed a couple of key sessions, and my ribs were just like, I think I was coughing like nonstop for 2 weeks. My ribs were like so sore. I was on anti-inflams to just get through the City to Bay race. And I was a little bit concerned how that, might impact my training, and even if that would sort of linger going into Melbourne. So it wasn't the most perfect build. I still had to juggle, work and other things, and, sickness. So there's certainly like lots to learn, but I had like a village behind me. And so it's really nice for that to pay off yesterday. And I've definitely caught the marathon bug.
Can I just quickly go, Crows? Because I saw a bit of that village. I bumped into a lot of your team at probably like the 35K mark, just as you were heading up the Shrine Hill. And Lockie was there. I think you handed your sunglasses over actually at that point and grabbed a drink. And yeah, they were going crazy. They all calling you Linny. And I'm like, I didn't want to say Linny. I was just like, go Caitlin, because I'm like, I don't know you good enough to call you Linny, but I'm like, okay, that's her nickname. And it was really cool because you look so strong, and your splits were, 75.07 and 75.19, which is pretty hard to run that course that even. And you could tell, they probably were only going to see you once more from there, but they were all so confident, and they're like, she's got it, like the way you looked. And it was a real, kind of a random moment that I got to experience, seeing your team react to how strong you were out there on the roads.
Oh, they've just been an integral part of this build. Like it still like gives me goosebumps, thinking about it, just how much support I've had in training, like leading up to this, people jumping on bikes, handing drinks, like training partners that have, dedicated their sessions to me and jumped in and out. And, just having someone like Jess to look up to and get sort of so much wisdom from. And then on the day, it was just, surreal to have them all like watching and cheering. And I guess like a local marathon like Melbourne is just the perfect place to debut. Like I have plenty of friends in Melbourne, and it was just awesome. I feel like every kilometre that there was someone that I was waving to and cheering for. And I know like Lockie was saying, like, just enjoy it. Like you want to do this. You don't want to be super tense, like at least for the first, half of the race, just enjoy it. And so like every person that I saw and heard, I was like trying to wave to them and just like really take it in. And it's quite funny. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was pretty content to just find, maybe a 2:30 or sub 2:30 pack to sit in with. I didn't really have like a personal pacer. Everyone else was sort of doing their own races or had other plans. And it's only really been in the last sort of week and a half that, Jess has sort of said, oh, look, like I'm feeling good. Like I'll jump in with you and see how far I can get. like 20 to 25K. And then her brother Jack is always super fit and he's super talented, and he wanted to do the same thing. He was going to Melbourne regardless. His partner Sarah was running in the half, so he said, I'll jump in as well. And then in the last 5 days, one of Lockie's athletes out at Team Tempo, and he trains with me a bit, Cam Clohessy, also said, I'll jump in too. So I went from having like no one to help pace me, which I was fine with, but then to have 3 people. And it was quite funny in the elite room the day before. Tim Crosby, who deals with like the elite section of the race, was being quite transparent with everyone and saying, okay, this person's got this pacer, Sarah's, running this, aiming to run this sort of time. She's got this pacer. And then he looked at me and he goes, and Caitlin's got 3 paces. And I just felt like a bit of a diva. I was like, here I am, like I've got 3 people looking after me.
It'll never be as bad as Jess running that one with the flying V around there with Mottram and
2015.
Josh Harris.
Gosh, she got looked after that. You'll never be a diva compared to that.
Oh yeah, but it was just epic. Like they were so good. We had such a good pack. They were really like just kept checking in so much. Like do you want me to grab your drink? Like sit in here, or watch that pothole. Like we're going this way. Like it just not being able to, like, not having to waste energy myself on thinking about different things or noting like where Adam was with the drinks on the course was great. And yeah, so I owe a lot of that to them. It just made for a really enjoyable debut. And look, like because of my build up, like I feel like I had a really good build up. I did what I could, but because I did get a bit sick and it wasn't ideal, I wanted to go really conservative. I didn't want to go out too fast and try and shoot for the stars and miss. I thought, look, like again, there's a real opportunity to win this here, and I don't want to do anything dumb. Sometimes I can tend to get strung out and go way too fast and then blow up. And usually, like, I back myself to be a bit of a strength runner and can hold on in those situations. But it's a lot different when you're holding on in a 10K for the last 2K versus in a marathon when you have to hold on for the last 20K. I thought, like, I don't want to be in that situation. Like, I want to do this the smart way. So I'm really excited to look towards the next marathon because I know I've got a lot more in me. I mean, like a lot of the training I was doing was aiming sort of at that 228, 229 pace, but I knew I needed to do this smart and do it the conservative way. And I felt really good at like 30 to 35K. And then it wasn't until 38K where like aerobically I felt good, but the quads started to tighten up a little bit and got a bit heavier. But it was a positive experience. I didn't feel like I felt bad at all for that run. So yeah, good feelings for what's to come.
So we're going to see you sticking to the marathons now?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely caught the marathon bug, and like I said, you always look back, right? Even if you run a PB, you go, oh, like I had this much more to give, or I could have done this differently. And a lot of the time in the race, like when Jack or Cam or Jess was asking, how's this pace feeling? I was saying, okay, maybe let's dial it back, just be a bit more smart about things. And so I'm really keen to get into a marathon maybe early next year or mid next year and actually sort of take a little bit more risks, which is, I think you can only do that once you run the marathon. There were so many questions that were unanswered, and I wanted to be smart about it. Even the night before, I was so nervous. I was actually vomiting. I got like 2 hours sleep. So I think I'll be much more prepared for the next one in terms of maybe I won't have my 3 pacemakers, but I'll know more like what to expect and how to feel at certain points in the race, and can take a bit more of a risk in terms of like the pace that I run.
Melbourne is also probably a minute to 2 minutes slower than some of the other races that you've probably got your eye on as well. So even though you might have trained for 228, running 230 at Melbourne's probably a pretty good run still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good run. It's a good run, but I mean, like compared to like your aspirations to run 228 during the training block, it's probably pretty close.
Yeah, definitely. Like the second half of Melbourne, like you're going uphill a fair bit, and so I knew that. And I guess like my A++ goal was running sub 230, and the next goal was coming up with the win and running like a time that I was proud of, and I did that. So I really can't be disappointed. Like, I think it was a really positive experience, and I just am so thankful for everyone that was on that journey and that was out there cheering, and thank you guys for cheering as well. Really loved it.
Did Sarah go with you at the start, or Millie? Like, I only caught the marathon at about, that 30K mark, and you looked well ahead then.
I don't think so. I think, we were pretty much ahead and in a different pack from the first couple of Ks, and especially I think there's a turnaround point near the lake, like Albert Park Lake, and I could see that I was a fair way ahead, but I didn't want to get too ahead of myself because I knew, there's so much of this race to come. Like right now I feel like I've got it wrapped up, but it's you versus the marathon, not you versus anyone else in the race at this point. So I guess it wasn't until like 30K where I really allowed myself to get excited about the win.
Trying to work out where to put the pool in the backyard.
Yeah. We've got we live in a hillier, like kind of like the foothills in Adelaide. So our backyard's like this. So it might be like a really,
like a water slide.
Got to pay for a bit of yard work as well. Caitlin, I feel like, having someone like Jess is in your training group, and I'm sure she gave you a lot of advice leading in. Like, what did you learn from the experience and Adam's experience as a marathon coach as well? Like, what did you learn in the build up and on race day?
Yeah. Oh, look, so much. I think Adam's just really calm with the whole process. Like, he's done it so many times and he's had to adapt, training plans and race day strategies so many times for Jess, depending on, the course or the conditions or, how her build has gone. And so I was really confident. Like, I could just, sit back and like trust the training. And, he was really happy with how the build went. And even when I was getting sick, he was still, really confident and looking towards the race. And I could tell that was genuine. And so it was awesome to have someone like him just, showing me the way, and I could just like fully back him in and trust the process there. And then of course with Jess, just she's got heaps of nuggets of wisdom, and even having her to like chat to just before the race about the warm up or like what to do, like where do you put like body glide and like drinks and how many drinks she takes during the run. And Bryce was really helpful with that as well, because like I'm not the best at getting like drinks and gels down, so we really like honed that in training. So so many things to take away, and it was just had a great team around me and people that I can learn from.
These days we talk about how many grams per hour of carbs you got in. Were you able to calculate what you took on board?
I think I did about 4 gels, and then with like the Morton 160, I kind of just sipped. Like, I didn't want to take on too much. Again, that was me just being really conservative in not wanting to upset the stomach. But next time I could probably take a little bit more liquid on. But I think like majority of my carbs came from the gels. But off the top of my head, I'm not really sure how much, but I think I took in a decent amount, which was good.
Are you teaching full time?
So I'm 0.8 currently, but I'm spread across 5 days. So it does feel a bit full time because I'm there every day. But they've been great in terms of like my part days off are training days. So I can't make it out to the Tuesday morning session, but I get a little bit of a sleep in and can double that morning. And then I have most of Friday off, so I can get out to the group session, which is awesome. Whereas last year, my timetable wasn't as nice, and I just, I was tired all the time. And it, like, I had to rush in from a Friday session, barely eat, and go straight into, teaching year 11 maths. And I was just absolutely fried. So this year's been really good. I mean, ideally, I'd love to drop it down to 0.6, but I still have to make a bit of a living. So 0.6 would be the goal. Maybe after this, it might open up some opportunities to do that next year. Yeah.
What sort of mileage?
Moose. You wouldn't be able to do that 5 days at school, Moose.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, neither do you boys.
Yeah, I know. I'm 0.4 and it's hard work.
0.8, but having to go in 5 days are rough.
Yeah. That's hard. That's hard.
And it's funny because I thought I was managing, like I've managed it quite well this year. And like I said, I think last year was my first sort of year of having like a year-long contract, whereas prior to that I'd been overseas a bunch and more so relief teaching, which you can control your own hours. It was like super easy. And so last year was a big learning opportunity. And yeah, like we do have a mortgage now, so I kind of do have to do that. But yeah, chatting to Andy Buchanan in the Gold Coast this year for the Gold Coast half, he was sort of asking me about work because he's a teacher as well, obviously. And yeah, he sort of said to me like, oh, wow, like, when, you're much better at the point that I was when I was working much less. And so I was sort of thinking, wow, like maybe I am working a bit too much, but
well, if you're strategic about how you race, you've sort of shown that you can support yourself these days with racing. Like what you picked, like the money you went yesterday in WA, there was like $20,000 marathon.
10 grand for the marathon in Perth.
Yeah, so there's races around if you do the right. Whether it compromises your overall career or not is a different story, but it's getting better out there for athletes.
Yeah,
it's a challenge, though, isn't it? Like back to Andy, I think he was on the podcast last week, the Run to PB one, and saying that he put it down to having to work like his latest injury, like just working too hard outside of running. Like we've got to get to a stage where more people are full-time athletes. That's the dream.
It really would be. And I guess that's the struggle with like track and field is unless you're sort of consistently making teams and, like vying for those medals at the top end, it is really hard to make a living from it. And I'm very grateful for all the support I do get. And look, I don't do this sport for the money by any means. I do it because I love it, as we all do. So yeah, I don't want to get on here and complain about it, but I definitely, like I'm sort of at that, I'm 28 now, I'm at that peak age in my career and hopefully starting a marathon career. And so it's always in the back of your mind, like what could I do if I, can get more mileage in and can recover better and work less. So that is the end goal, because I guess during this build, my mileage was sort of like hit its peak at about 147 Ks. And that's, a lot less than what a lot of people get in. I think that was just like a happy point, or just like a quite a nice point for me. I felt like if I tipped the scales on that anymore, I probably would have put myself into a little bit of a burnout hole. But certainly like if I had the possibility of working less at school and then getting in more mileage, that can be beneficial, very beneficial to a marathon career.
What how much of an increase was your mileage for the marathon compared to what you had been doing for sort of track and shorter road races?
Not too much. I think for majority of this year, especially going into some of those half marathons, I was hitting probably about 135K. So yeah, only really an increase of maybe 10 to 15 kilometers. And a lot of that was not so much coming from like general jogging, like day-to-day sort of mileage. It was coming from like those long run sessions and, Friday sessions and that sort of thing. Like Adam his main focus was on like a Sunday session, long run session. Like if we weren't, if I was a bit tired and we couldn't get in the Friday session, it didn't matter as much because like his big thing is getting in those long run sessions. So yeah.
Did you go Sky or Edge, Caitlin? That's a big question with ASICS athletes.
I went the Edge. I loved the Sky model, like version 1, 2, and 3, I think. But since the Paris model, the Edge has been my favorite. I think that's more of like a cadence shoe. I'm quite like a poppy runner, and I find that if I'm in the Sky, I'm almost like shooting for the stars. Like I'm bouncing way too much in it, whereas the Edge for me just feels really smooth. I love that shoe.
Yeah. Any more questions, fellas, before we let her go? Probably get some sleep, probably busted legs, tired, maybe some hungover as well. Big day on the beers yesterday.
Only a couple.
Okay. That's good. That's a recipe for disaster.
If I'm winning Melbourne Marathon, I'd probably be still in Melbourne right now, I reckon.
And have you given any thought to? I know it's not a question you want to probably ask the day after the marathon.
Come on, Croaks. Stop it, mate.
I'm sure our listeners would love to know what's next, if there is anything.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to think too far from this race because I wanted to see how I pulled up afterwards. But like, I would love to do World Cross Trials at the end of November. We'll see how the body feels. I knew when I selected Melbourne that it would potentially compromise that race, and I just thought, look, I've made that team a couple of times now. Like, yes, I could improve on the place, and it's such a cool opportunity. Like, anytime you get to pull on the Oz singlet. But I just thought, like, you know, running Melbourne and potentially winning and running a good debut is just going to be like that. That's just going to be an incredible experience. Nothing will beat that. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think I'll do World Cross Trials, and then next year looking hopefully to do a marathon. I'll have to sort of sit down and have a chat with Adam and Lockie. Yeah, it's actually maybe I'll address it. Like, there's been a few like rumors getting around about Team Tempo. So
this is the place to address it.
Pop the lid open.
What rumors?
An exclusive.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Moose, this was you last week, wasn't it? That there's going to be a group shutting down. Is that what you were hinting at?
Well,
he didn't mention Team Tempo though.
Well, I heard there was a big group shutting down. I didn't know who it was.
Bullshit.
I heard like disbanding, and it's been a funny like inside joke within like Team Tempo. But essentially, like Adam has got a job at AA, and he's working in the development space there, and so he's sort of moving out of coaching and just coaching like the NAS level athletes, and then so like Team Tempo will just remain as normal. We've got heaps of fantastic coaches there that are like really great coaches in their own right. So yeah, we've got some really solid foundations, and the environment out there just, it really makes it what it is. So it's not going to change too much in terms of like the group and who's out there. It'll all stay pretty normal. But in my situation, I guess end of December, Lockie will take over coaching me. So I guess I'll have to include him in some of the future planning.
Are there any changes? I'm not sure if you can comment, because like, we've seen people like Leanne and Sam Clifford under like that Team Tempo umbrella, despite them having other coaches. Is there any change to that?
Yeah, good question. Look, to be honest, I don't really know what the future holds when it comes to like the ASICS partnership. It's been awesome to have them on board with us the past couple of years, but I'm really not sure. So probably some chats and some negotiations will get underway, but it'll be interesting to see what comes about with that.
Oh, thanks for sharing that.
No worries.
That's good. And I have just looked up, Moose, our agenda notes, ones to watch in 2022. You said Jack Rayner and Caitlin Adams.
Thank you. I don't forget. And how about that? The two winners of the Melbourne Marathon.
Done well.
Yep. Croak said Haftu Strintzos, Kai Robinson, Lauren Ryan.
Oh. Now, who were you on, Brady? I'm interested in this.
Jess Stenson, Ollie Hoare, Luke Matthews.
Oh.
Two of the three. That was a long time ago. That was 2021, end of 2021. We said that.
That's good stuff.
The one to watch in 2022.
Yeah, he was soft. He always goes soft. He'd already probably won 4 medals by then.
The note says that she's about time she'll run a fast marathon. She was still doing hilly marathons, championship races.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Caitlin, for your time. We really appreciate it coming on so soon after the race. And massive congratulations again.
No worries. Thanks so much for having me on, guys. I really enjoyed the chat. And just thanks everyone for the cheers out there yesterday. It's one to remember.
Well done, Caitlin.
Well done, Caitlin.
She's my one to watch next year.
Awesome time off that. Very well spoken. Let's move on with the show, Croaks. Let's thank some Patreon supporters, eh?
All right. I've got Tyg O'Sullivan from Cork in Ireland. He's a online running coach with PBs of 14:56 from this year's Striders AC 5K, 31:34 from the Dundrum 10K, 70:57 at this year's Barcelona half, and 2:30:33 from this year's London Marathon. He's also a psychiatric nurse, and based on Instagram, I reckon he's recently married. So congratulations, Tyg, if that's the case, and thanks for your support.
Yeah, congratulations, Tyg. Moose, who are you thinking?
Just before we move on, how would you have gone with that name if Croaks hadn't written in the brackets there.
I would have got it correct because remember the Sydney footballer, Tig, what was his name?
Keneally?
Oh, Keneally, yeah. I know it from that.
Okay, all right.
I've got mind memory of seeing that name previously.
I did look it up as well. Pronunciation on like Google.
Some of those Irish ones are hard, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
You couldn't remember the Sydney Swans play, Croaks?
No, I did, but I just wanted to double check.
Okay, just to confirm it.
I have Jay Bassenquay. Do you reckon that's good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Jay's a good bloke too. I've met him a few times.
Jay, yep. I remember he got some stuff on me during COVID, I reckon, in Ballarat. He's from Melbourne. His best 5K, 5th of 17:39, came during the 10K, during his 10K PB of 35:54 at the 2023 Sandy Point 10K. Oh, I got some memories of that being maybe a bit short down there in Sandy Point, Jay. Gonna have to double check that one, I reckon. Is that the one? Yeah, double check that. His half marathon PB is 79:11 from Run Melbourne 2023. Bit of a red flag on that one too, I reckon. And marathon PB 2:48. That's a good one, and it's a creditable one from last year's Gold Coast Marathon. So he's nailed that half there. If you do the math on it, 79:11, double plus 10. We happy with that?
I'm distracted because Jay sent us those T-shirts. Remember the ones that say "Running Sucks" on them?
Oh,
that was. I had mine on Sunday. It's a good T-shirt. You know,
which
the black one. It says "Running Sucks" on the front of them. Did he ever send you guys one of those?
No.
No, mate.
Must have been a special Brady deal. Sorry about that, fellas, but they're really good T-shirts. I don't know if he's got like a clothing brand. I swear.
Just back on Jay then.
Yeah.
Not the 5K's dirty. The 10K's you've been done dirty there, and then the 79:11 Run Melbourne. They only ran 20K this year. Jay should have sent more T-shirts, buddy.
Right in, Jay. I want to know if I'm right there.
But thank you for your patronage, and
some of these are long-time Patreon supporters as well. That we're going. We've found the people we missed, and we're going back.
Did I mention that he's potentially a site foreman at Melbourne Elite Plumbing?
Not just the normal plumbing in Melbourne, the elite plumbing.
The elite plumbing. That's where you go if you need it done properly.
Thank you, Jay.
Sounds expensive though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you're going to get the job done. You don't want to be cutting corners when you're dealing with your plumbing, Moose. You've done renovations.
I would have cut a few corners to save some dollars.
Probably why your water pressure's crap, Moose.
Yeah, good callback, folks. I'm going to throw and thank Josh Justin. He's from Melbourne. He has ran 39:23 at the 2023 Maribyrnong River Run, 85:53 at the 2022 Geelong Half Marathon. That would be on the Troop Loop, Moose.
A bit on the Troop Loop. Troop Loop's 10K worth of that.
Okay. And 3:13 at both the 2023 Gold Coast Marathon and last year's Melbourne Marathon. Okay, so he's had a hot or humidish race at Gold Coast and then windy last year, wasn't it, for you boys, Melbourne?
Yeah, it's blowing a gale. It's like worth about 6-7 minutes, I reckon, last year.
It was so bad last year. I can't believe how good they had it this year.
Moose just said about Caitlin, like it's worth 2 minutes, that course.
1 to 2, I said.
Yeah, so then we had the 6 minutes worth of win, Moose, and we take 8 minutes off our time.
Yeah. We had it rough, Croaks.
Anyway,
you should have seen it yesterday. It was
Stay on Josh. We'll get to Melbourne Marathon in a second. So Josh's 3:13 might be worth a 3:09, I reckon, after that windy year. He's a dad to 2 girls, and he has quality ink on both his legs. There you go, Croaks. That's the stuff I want to know about our Patreon supporters. What does their ink look like?
Jay's also got some ink as well.
Yeah, Jay's a good-looking rooster. I've seen him in person. Yeah, thank you to all our Patreon supporters for your support of the Inside Run podcast. If you like what we do and the show brings you value, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. We try to put at least one bonus show out every week for our extra elite supporters. Last week, as Moose said, was the UK Monthly Boys. We're hoping to have a Road to Valencia kicking off very soon, just trying to lock in a few members there. And I think you rode Sydney's this week, Moose, isn't it? Julian and Nick Earl.
Oh, yeah, got to get them on because
Get
Nick
them
Earl had
sorted.
a race on the weekend.
He did have a race, so he'll have some stuff to talk about. So yeah, he was up and about.
Doesn't he love just hanging with like prominent Aussie women right until the right until the end, and then just kick away?
No, it's not a good trade, is it?
He went past us, and I missed him, didn't I, Moose? So I was like, oh, Nick Earl was in that pack too.
Yeah, he's off the back, like head in the air.
Moaning.
Did it at Sydney as well with Leanne, there for a long time, and then just right at the end, leave them.
That's at his stage of his career now. It's like try to beat the lead female.
Not beat himself, not beat his own times or goals, or have his own sort of ambitions.
I just think that's where his goals are.
Beat the women. No matter who shows up, just stick with the women until 100 metres to go and then burn them.
He'll be talking about that on Patreon. Thank you to Axel Coffee for this week's running news. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. I was talking to Zoe from Axel Coffee today, actually, fellas. She did Chicago overnight. Had a good run over there. Said she was blown away by how big the crowds and stuff were. So it's good to see.
Really? At Chicago?
Yeah. But Melbourne Marathon happened on the local streets, Croaks. You watched the stream. What was the quality like? Did you get to see some action out there?
Yeah, like they like it's pretty standard, showed a bit of running, and then throughout the morning, the 10K winner comes across, so they then go back and interview them, then show a bit more running, then go back and interview the female 10K winner. Nothing much changes in these like live streams really. But I got to see, Jack sort of run away from the rest of the field in the marathon and Haftu. Like you didn't sort of see Haftu's break. It was more like came back and there was just him and no one. Like absolutely, like when he, like I don't know, you guys were on the road, but obviously when he went, he put like massive amounts of time into them. So what I'll do is I'll whip through the results and you guys, we can just chat about it. So we'll start with the marathon. Jack Rayner got the win, 2:15.02. So his splits were 66.42 through halfway. Second half was 68.20. Steve McKenna, 2:16.42, just PB for Steve. And Fraser Darcy was third, just missing his PB. He ran 2:17.38. In the women's, Caitlin Adams, 2:30.26 with splits of 75.07 and 75.19, which pretty impressive. There wouldn't be too many debut marathoners that have been able to, pretty much even split a marathon. So that was great running. Sarah Klein was second, 2:35.59, and Millie Clark was third, 2:37.40.
Go with Jack first. Go with the men's race first.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve McKenna had a good run. He come like through the field as well. He was third when we saw him, wasn't he, Moose? I reckon that's run of the day in that marathon.
No, he was fourth.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, Joe Fakota was in there too, wasn't he?
It was Fraser and Joe together, and then at the and then Jack was ahead, and so I don't think I remember seeing. Oh yeah, we did see him.
Yeah, we did because he wasn't sure which way to go. Remember?
Yeah. It's slower. What did Jack run last year? 2:11.
Yeah. So 2:11, 2:12. Let me look it up. We'll get that stuff right.
So it's 3 to 4 minutes slower this year round. Still got the win. The day I think was better. Like someone made a good point that when you see the hot air balloons in the sky, it's a good day in Melbourne. And the hot air balloons were out that morning. So it was probably about 10 degrees, kind of crisp, really nice, no wind.
2:11.59.
Okay, yeah, no wind until maybe towards the back half of the maybe like after 2 hours it started to get a little. Oh, geez, I'm fucking reaching here. It wasn't windy. Let's just be clear about that. It was a good day out there. Jack, he's obviously trained for the World Champs 5K, which was a month ago. Before that, ran a few track races, has tried to double back for the marathon. He did enough to get the win, obviously, 2:15.02. So that's a very good payday for him. Probably not the deepest field you would consider Joe Fukuda. He's run fast in the past. I'm not sure how fast he's run recently. And then you've got Steve McKenna, who was a 2:18 guy before this, or 2:17 guy from Sydney, maybe. And then Fraser, who has run Sydney, ran the World Mountain Running Championships, and ran at Gold Coast as well. So yeah,
And Sydney, those guys are backing up well. Like you
They
say,
are.
they're not the deepest, but shit, they're journeymen for the year. They've run 3 or 4 marathons, and they're getting quicker every time.
Yeah, but consider this is Melbourne Marathon, and maybe I've just got these memories of Melbourne Marathon watching all the Africans go out and blast 2:11, 2:12, like and just like 2:20 being 5th to 10th place, which I guess it still is.
That's where it would be interesting if Jack knew that Melbourne were bringing out a heap of the African runners. Do you reckon Jack runs this marathon?
No,
I don't reckon he does either, because
he's him making money, isn't it? Like, call it what it is.
Yeah, he's rocking up to this, winning this on him just being a much better athlete. Not necessarily him being in marathon shape, but just being a cut above everybody else.
There's so much profile to be built by winning the Melbourne Marathon in Melbourne, though. Like, you are a rock star. Caitlin will be remembered. That name will be remembered. Jack he's iconic because he's got a style to him that's like very it looks great, like visually, like on social media, and he's a cool dude, like he's got a mustache and he's got the earrings, the tattoos. He makes running like he's a cool guy, like attractive, cool dude winning running races. I'm like, this is
the modern pre.
Yeah, exactly. The modern pre, who was a rock star runner, and Jack is a rock star runner, and he goes and wins Melbourne 2 years in a row. Like he's known in Melbourne now for a very long time, and the brands know that. And maybe it's not the global brands that like see a 2:15 and go, oh, we've got to get behind that. But imagine the local companies that would want to work with you.
Like, it's an interesting one though from Jack. Like, obviously, this is his job. You're mad to turn down $20,000. But then 25. You look 25,000. Yeah. But then you look
Plus, you would have had bonuses for Nike race.
You look at is this the best thing for his career? But then again, it's like, well, you got to win. You got to survive $25,000. But you'd love to see him, because I've said actually I think he could be our best ever marathoner. Like, based on what he's done. He's been great on the roads, but he's always just got injured and never been able to string enough marathon type training together. So I'd love to see him get into that top marathon shape and come out and run 2:06, which I think he can do.
Well, he has quicker. I looked this up today. He has quicker 5K and 10K PBs than Connor Mance and Rory Linklater, who just ran 2:04 and 2:07 at Chicago. I'm with you, Croaks. I think you need to almost define career. Like, is career making money when you got opportunities to make money? Or like, maybe is this the best for Jack's longevity in the sport? Like, or is this the best to see Jack get as close to his athletic potential as possible? Because it's the same. I'm like, I fucking want to see Jack go try break Andy Buchanan's record, which is 9 minutes quicker than this. Like, I think he's got all the tools to do it, but does this come at a cost of that? And like how you set your season up and you're jumping in marathons 2 weeks.
Especially when he has had those sort of injuries, like a history of injuries. And it's like, well, you've trained for a 5K. Now you're jumping in a marathon. And like you're probably running it a lot easier than what you would, but it's still going to take a toll on the body when you're not when you're not maybe conditioned for it.
You talk to, like, we hear Caitlin though saying, oh, I'm working 0.8, can't get the mileage in I need to, like I'm not reaching my potential as a marathoner, basically saying that because of work. But if Jack doesn't do this and he says I'm going to run Valencia only and I'm not going to do races for money, then maybe he needs to get a job and you don't see him reach his athletic potential. So he needs to be able to pay his rent, he needs to pay for food. This is like we don't know the money side of things either, so we're just speculating hypotheticals. Yeah, that's true. But the reality is that there aren't a lot of runners in Australia who can survive just off a brand contract without winning races. Very few.
Yeah, and I think I did compare him to an American and a Canadian, and they seem to be much more on the big appearance fee for American Marathons week, and so and their contracts. So it's like you can live off your appearance fees and your contract with the big brands.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to go and do a race that might compromise your training just so you can get by.
Yeah,
But wouldn't it be like I said this before, and it might not match his personality or what he likes doing, but if you just tuck him away in the mountains somewhere and
oh,
just 8-10 weeks pre-marathon, just take him up there and just let him go. Just
same with Stewie and Brett Robinson. I'm like a change of scenery. I think for all those three guys at this stage of their career. Like when Stewie was talking about what's his name in
gone to
Utah.
Utah. Yeah.
I'm like,
Grant
oh,
Fisher.
please do it. Just go follow. Just do what Grant Fisher's doing for 2 months, please. Like, turn your phone off. Like, don't wear a watch. Just follow him around for 2 months, please.
I don't think Stewie has problems with his watch.
Well, no, that's what I mean. He already has his watch off. Like, yeah. Same with I don't know. Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the half.
No, well, the rest of the ladies. So you
Yep.
got Sarah Klein backing up from World Champs, who came second. So that's a pretty good turnaround. That was probably only a month ago too, wasn't it?
Oh, if that.
Got that, yeah.
Yeah. So very good turnaround, and then someone who has a real habit of popping up and getting on podiums at big events is Millie Clark. So she's run 2:37, and she just seems to do it every year. Just pop up and put another one on the board.
Yeah, like I don't think we'll ever see PB Millie again that qualified her for the Olympics. But if she can rock up to these things, win some good cash, be on podiums, why not?
Well, especially given like there are so many top quality marathons in the country, and as you said before, there's not enough athletes to go around. So there's going to be money for people to win, even if they're not at their best.
Yep. Half marathon. Haftu looked so good.
No. I just want to go on. We just did some numbers before though. Like for anyone in the marathon who was sort of wondering how it sits against Sydney, the amount of marathoners who ran under 2:30 at Sydney, Brady, how many did you get? Did you go back and have a look at that?
Oh, didn't I tell you to write it into the spreadsheet
You didn't
before
write
we
it, you
started?
dickhead. You didn't write it.
I was telling you, this was meant to be your segment.
Well, you put your hand up to do the Sydney bit and you didn't do it.
How many under 3 hours was it?
Under 3 hours is a good stat. So
it was like 1,305 or something like that.
I wrote that one down. So at Sydney, 1,301 athletes under 3 hours, and at Melbourne, 806. So it's about 500 more at Sydney under 3 hours. And it's a harder course as well.
It's also a World Marathon major now.
Yeah. Oh, and more athletes in the race. Like way more athletes in the race. What's Melbourne?
Was it 13,000 or something, I think?
Is it
13? But they were banking on the thing that was 50,000 across the festival.
Yeah, maybe I saw 12 on the results page. So 12 something. So I mean, there's
Sydney's nearly triple that, isn't it?
Yeah. So of course, so it actually works out pretty good for Melbourne, really, if you think that. Like per runner, they're actually doing pretty good.
Yeah, Haftu looked so good in the half marathon. When he went past us moves at 16, 17K, he gapped him and he looked amazing. 62.13. Zach Facioni was second, 63.21. Toby Gualter from New Zealand. His name would be familiar for the Run Pre 10K a couple of weeks ago. 63.22. Stewie fifth, Brett Robinson fourth.
I've got him.
And they both didn't look great when they looked past us, which probably disappointment for those two. Yeah. Big pack early. That was slow.
I think Stewie was like worse.
Stewie was six actually. Yeah, 64.16. Brett Robinson 63.57. Jacob Cox was in between them. My man Nathan Stode in ninth, 65.14. Boys nearly got Ryan Gregson 64.58. They went slow early. When they went past me, I reckon I was at 3 or 4K. Huge group together. 15.10 and then 15.05. And then Haftu, he went 2:56 pace for the rest of the race after 10K, going by these splits.
Yeah.
and Valencia for him next.
Ooh. So
Having a crack at the Aussie record.
They're all going though, aren't they? Andy, Brett, Ryan Gregson. Andy was the only one on the elite announcement, but they must cut it off at like 2:07.
How much running's Andy doing at the moment though?
His first workout the other day, I reckon it was 3 by 5 minutes.
Workout.
Valencia's not far away.
It's like 7 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
What does
maybe 7?
What does that run do for like Brett and Stewie's confidence? Like Brett's obviously come off Sydney Marathon, not a great result there, not far away from Valencia. Like he's dominated that half marathon in the past.
But he didn't last year. He had a shocker last year. Didn't he run like 66 or something?
Yeah, a couple of years ago he ran quite well there, I think.
Well, that was always, if he had a poor marathon, everyone was always like, "Oh, get him back to the half. Marathon's too far. Get him back to the half." That guy needs a change of scenery. He needs something different than 8 by 1K every Tuesday and a 30-minute fartlek or threshold every Friday.
Even Stewie, I thought, like, I know the half marathon's not Stewie's distance, but you think a guy like a 13-minute sort of 5K guy should be able to.
Yeah, especially off a slower pace early. Like it would have sort of suited, you would have thought, that the ability to cut down for Stewie. Like I thought if it went out real hot from the start, it might be a different, like it might be a bit
and too far for him.
Much, but yeah, no, that did surprise me. He couldn't keep that pace when it got going.
The young dogs are taking over though, aren't they? The Haftus, the Zach Facioni in his debut, changing of the guard.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but what did Andy run here last year? 61.
61 something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, Andy still would have been in front of Haftu on a worse day of weather.
Yeah,
but we don't know how much Haftu had up his sleeve though. Like he won by
Haftu's also coming off Sydney though. He wouldn't be that fit yet.
He won by 70 seconds.
Well, he looked good, Croaks. Tell us about the women's race. It was a course record.
Yes, Izzy Batt-Doyle, 68.55. Georgia Grgec, 69.44. And Sinead Diver, third in 70.56.
Izzy's run of good performances continues. Georgia, I was unfamiliar with, New Zealander. Been over in the States, I reckon, and has a pretty good 5K PB, Zach was telling me. Yeah, 15.03.
Okay.
So she got some wheels. Maybe had some injury issues over the last couple of years as well. But that's a name to watch.
Good from Sinead as well. Like, obviously, I guess when you think of Sinead, like you're thinking of 2:21, 69-minute half, even faster. But, like she is, she's 49 now, almost 49. So, like running sub 71 at 49, bloody impressive.
Insane, isn't that? That is just amazing. Like, in reality, that is the craziest run of the whole weekend, running at that age. And, I mean, she ran 2:21 in 2023, right?
Yeah, 45. She ran 2:21.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was...
No, it was 2:22. The Australian record.
Oh, 2:22. What are you on about?
Sorry, no, it was 2022.
Yeah, no, so at 45, she ran 2:21 for the marathon. That's what I'm saying, at the age of 45.
I'm just saying what year it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
In December 2022, she ran the Australian record.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to come out and do this, I think that's pretty promising considering, like, she's a marathoner. We know that. And if anything, after a few more years, she's only going to get, like, the gap between sort of her faster stuff and her longer stuff probably grows a little bit. So she going to Valencia too, right?
Nah, she was on SEN during the week and she was talking about something potentially next year, which I actually love, that it's like, hey, string some more stuff together. Like, imagine if she can get herself back into 69 shape. And then she's so strong that I was always interested, like, would it just, like, I never wanted to see her, like, lost to the sport. And I was at a stage where I'm like, oh, please at least have one more, like, even give us a 2:25 or 2:24. But I think this is like, she can go really quick again.
Yeah. There's some good packs out there.
First run back. Yeah.
I was at the 10K mark of the half, and the packs, like the pack Izzy was in was really strong. And then the second ladies pack was massive. Like, it was probably the 70-minute pack. They were running like some yeah, some good working together going on in that pack.
Dave McNeil in the old Australian kit.
Yeah, I love
What
that.
What was that kit?
That was an Olympic kit, right? Or maybe that was
I reckon it was Sydney Olympics. I don't think it was one of his Australian
I
kits.
reckon it was a World Cross kit. I've seen him in that before.
No,
or in Com
it
Games.
it had Sydney 2000 on it.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was super old.
well, he wasn't there at that.
No, but then
so he's borrowed it off someone because they all had the Kathy Freeman kits on, the new Nike ones. I've got it open here. Yeah, Sydney 2000 Olympics.
It's a nice kit. I
He's
really
in the
liked it.
Lululemon half tights as well. I should be getting a cut for that. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. What did you think of the Kathy Freeman Nike colorway?
I love the concept. Like, I really like the concept of it, and I think tying stuff in on a local level is having athletes like wear something that's sentimental is awesome. I don't know about grey for bottoms.
Yeah, grey looked a bit weird. Yeah.
The grey bottoms is a tough one, and you just don't want close-up photos with grey bottoms. Yeah.
Yeah. The 10K Croaks. This was nearly the run of the day. This guy smashed him.
Adam Goddard got the win in 28.40. Johannes Dagnall was second, 29.41. And Zaid Al Said was third in 29.48. In the women's, Ellie Pashley returns to racing, getting the win, 33.41. Stella Radford was second, 34.12. And Tiana Seta was third in 34.59.
Pashley's back, Moose. Pashley's back.
Well, she only decided to run at probably 2 p.m. on the Saturday because she's been sick all week, and then she had her daughter has had an eye problem, and she was booked in for surgery on Friday, like a proper surgery on her eye.
No.
And I said, don't run. That's stupid. Like, you're sick, stressed out of your head. You're gonna have to go to hospital on the Friday with Tiggy.
And you're racing Lauren Ryan and Bronte Oates.
Yeah.
Maybe a good one to sit out, Ellie. And then surgery gets pushed back. She wakes up Saturday and goes, hey, I felt pretty good this morning. I said on Friday, I said, go out, do 10 minutes of threshold and just tell me how it felt. And she comes back and goes, it's good. I feel pretty good. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. All right. And then on Saturday afternoon, she goes, I'm going to race. And I said, go get some accommodation then because it's pretty late. So she was, she's up and about. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be a real pain in the ass on Sunday long run now after this.
That's good. I was at their like 2 or 3K mark, and she went past and she was winning. And I'm just like, where's Lauren Ryan? Where's Georgia Hansen? Where's Bronte Oates? I'm like, Allie's going to win this. I'm like, I was stoked for her. I'm not saying she only won because they weren't there, but that's a good way to return to racing, just to get a bit lucky.
Yeah, you can only race who shows up.
Who's there?
That's
spot on.
Yeah.
Winners. We love winners on this show. That was Melbourne. Anything else you want to summarise there before we move on, Moose? Melbourne, you were down on the ground. A lot of people.
It's good.
Same issues. Back of the half marathon, or the back of the marathon, or the front of the marathon hits the back of the half marathon,
and vice versa.
That was busy. It's just so many races. I just parked myself on St Kilda Road, and it's like 10K's there, half marathons here, marathon's about to come back in. It's just so many people. At one stage, I was like on the nature strip, so I'm not sure if that people overseas have that, but it's the grass between the road and the footpath, and like watching people go by, and then it was so busy that everyone started coming up on the footpath as well. So I just had to like stand there, and I'm like, I don't know what happens with the seeding of the races, that people are starting in the wrong spot, so they're trying to go around people, and then or they just take way too many entries, and it just
there's just not enough. There's just not enough separation between the races when they're using the same roads.
Yeah,
so they almost need to either have the events split apart further from a time point of view, so then that's not happening, or they run completely different courses where they don't actually double up on the same course for much of it.
Yeah, and you can't have your leaders like, I don't know, I think if you're winning a race, your responsibility's got to be on winning a race, not like getting through the back of another race. I looked at Brett Robinson. He had this video on his Instagram today. I've got some audio. He was talking about it. Have a listen to this.
Geez, there's some traffic on that course though. Like, we were dodging people. There's something they need to do fix it for next year, because like that was bad. Even the finish coming in, and Jacob Koss was not far behind me, and I'm like in the wrong lane and like weaving between people, and I think he saw that and was like, he wasn't going to kick past me because of that. But even at 10k, like we have to go round the motorbike, we're running into people and like literally having to touch people because we're busting through them. So kind of they need to improve on that for sure.
We've been saying this for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
When we recap Melbourne.
And our DMs get full of it after every year. So, yeah. But I did hear a whisper. I'll go over a whisper early that it's going to be a 2-day event. I don't know about next year, the year after, but Moose, you heard the same whisper.
I was there in the conversation, hearing the whisper.
That it's going to be, which is a good move, hopefully, that happens. Because we see Gold Coast, they pull it off. It's way more efficient over 2 days. Sydney have got rid of their half marathon and just concentrating on delivering a good marathon. I think it's one thing to be like, yeah, how good are we? We had 50,000 participants, but you've also got to provide. You don't want a lot of people whinging about your event because it's too crowded.
I think it's the front small percentage that are whinging.
I think isn't it like 245 to like 315 in the marathon?
Are you talking about back up St Kilda Road at that point?
When because the front guys don't like Jack wasn't dealing with that because he gets onto St Kilda Road before the half.
Yeah.
But
like the majority of the half marathon is not dealing with running up the back of marathon as like Brett Robertson was talking about.
Yeah. That's probably a elite insight. That was Melbourne Marathon. If you're looking for a brilliant running experience next year, then the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is the event for you. Whether you're a 2 hour and 20-minute marathoner or a 6 hour runner, we invite you to come and try the flat and fast courses. There's just 98 metres of elevation for the full marathon and 49 metres of elevation for the half marathon. The long races start and finish out the front of the historic Ballarat Town Hall, situated on the best preserved Gold Rush era streetscapes in the world. With the event perfectly placed in autumn, you get to train through the summer rather than slog it out during the cold winter months. Each of the courses has been certified to World Athletic Standards, meaning you can run a qualifying time for one of the world majors, including Sydney, by taking in the beautiful streets of Ballarat. This year, the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is also a qualifying event for the 2027 World Marathon Majors Age Group Championships. And they have a team of 50 pacers who will help you achieve your goal time. On top of all that, the elite men's and women's mile races are on again and being recognised by Athletics Australia as the National Road Mile Championships. Thousands of people have already signed up for the event. If you're one of them, thank you. If you're thinking about it, now is the time to do so. Head to ballaratmarathon.com.au today. The Ballarat Marathon is proudly supported by Running Warehouse Australia, Federation University, the City of Ballarat, and Visit Victoria. Chicago happened. That was overnight for Russ. Woke up to this one this morning. Jacob Kiplimo was on world record pace for a long time. Went through half in 60.16. Second half ball up a bit, 62.07 to run 2:02.23. Amos Kipruto was second, 2:03.54. Alex Masai was third, 2:04.37. John Correa, last year's winner, did pull out. He was with Kiplimo for a long section of the race, maybe like 34K. I reckon he pulled out. So that was a big DNF there. Connor Mance, our boy, he was fourth, broke the American record, 2:04.43. Galen Rupp, he returned to good form, 16th in 2:09.41. That was his first marathon since the Olympic trials. Fast times. Weather looked pretty good, like not like 10 degrees and perfect, more that kind of like 15, 16, I think, but not too windy. And yes, I cleared my slab debt with Moose with the American record, which I'm pretty happy about. This guy just always delivers. When the bright lights are on, Connor Mance knows what to do.
How do you reckon, where does, Rupp, though, you said, back to fine form. It's like this guy was the Olympic silver medalist. And
in what year?
He's 39, Croaks.
9 years ago.
He had fucking 8 surgeries, mate.
But he's still I still think he believes he can be a world beater.
I don't think so.
And
No,
it's
he's talking the next Olympics in one of the interviews.
well, yeah, like, whereas, his countryman's 5 minutes up the road.
Yeah, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on Galen.
Croc's about to go one of our own old fellas.
Yeah.
Don't let that Crocs. Come on, they're on our
39,
team.
209. If
It's good to see him. It's good to
Get
see
one
him
on the
back
board.
running. Yeah.
Did you see?
Would he be happy with 209 though?
I think he was.
Was he?
It's a step in the right direction for him. Returning
Yeah.
to good racing, I reckon. Did you see Ed Eyestone? He was on the coverage. Did you see what he said about like doping and stuff?
No.
This is his quote. I'm in favour of the death penalty suspension for all competition if you test positive, one and done. That's the way it should be. These athletes are not operating in a vacuum. They have coaches, they have agents, they have mentors. These people are leading them astray. If we have athletes testing positive from certain systems, those managers should also be disqualified. That was on the live coverage when he was addressing Ruth Chepnegetich's absence from the 2025 Chicago Marathon after the world record holder tested positive for a banned diuretic and accepted a provisional suspension.
So he's saying that while Kiplimo's on world record pace and his managers had heaps of athletes getting popped.
Did you see the video? I sent it through in our group chat. Did you see where
it.
Jonathan Galt? I love him. He asks the hard questions, the Let's Run journo. So he pretty much asked him at the media day, what are your thoughts on your manager being associated with these people who have, tested positive or currently serving bans? And there's 3 people standing behind Kiplimo. And the minute the second he asked the question, they are all tapping him on the arm, tapping him on the shoulder, just being like, do not respond to this question. It is the creepiest, most sus thing I have seen. And it just gives me no hope that I can believe what Kiplimo's doing.
Do you know one of the people works for the brand that he's sponsored by too, I saw? Head of sports marketing or something.
Oh, that was the person behind it because you couldn't see their faces.
It was one of them, yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Not a good look there either.
No. Like, imagine if his quotes were the same. He's never going to come up with Ed Eyestone, but, yeah. So sports marketing at Nike, and then you got Connor Mance, who's Ed Eyestone's athlete, also Nike, and he's coming out with that stuff. His group's not Nike, though, is it? Ed Eyestone's. They're all different.
No, because he's got, got ASICs.
Yeah,
Clayton Young.
He got to Brooks guys too, yeah.
Does he still coach at the college, Eyestone, too?
Yeah, BYU. I reckon he does because I think those kids jump in sometimes. But yeah, that was interesting. Ross, if we can get that for the show notes, mate, that would be fantastic. The women's race, Hawi Fessa Gija, 2:14.57. Don't know a lot about Hawi. Do we got anything on her, Croaks? 2:14.57, 67:30, 67:27.
No.
There's a perfect marathon pacing for you.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be? 5th or 6th all time? Somewhere like that. LMU, she was second, also Ethiopian in 2:17.18, and Shahari was third in 2:18.03. Fast times, as always, in Chicago. Perth Running Festival, Croaks.
No, that's me, actually.
That's you. Sorry.
There's a big one over there. Geez, they must have got a cash injection because some good money. Marathon, 10K, 5K, 2K. In the half marathon, 5K, 2K, 1K. And in the 10K, 2K. Oh, that's confusing. In the 10 kilometre, 10K, 1K, $500. So the Western Australian crew are cleaning up over there. And I think it was mainly Western Australians who took the prizes too. So in the marathon, Paul Ayane, he ran 2:24.23. He beat Matt Smith 2:27.19, and Carlos Aquino was 2:31.17 for third. And in the ladies, Callan Waithira 2:38.52, Abigail Nordberg from Sydney 2:42.15, and Jane Fardell 2:49.45. In the half marathon, Tim Vincent, we've seen him. He come off the world champs to come back and run a 65.17 half. Geez, to easily win win ahead of Andy Smith in 70.38 and Josh Van Zeeland 70.44. And in the ladies, Rebecca Bolster ran 79.35, Benny Astridge 84.06, Catherine Watt 84.19. In the 10K, Dan Canala ran 30 flat, beat Max Shervington 31.02, Jonah Hanakeri 31.48. And Rachel McCormack took the $2,000 there and ran 35.24. Amy Buckingham 36.07, and Lauren Ramsden. Is that Matt Ramsden's wife or sister?
I think so. I think she's a runner.
Which one? Wife or sister?
Wife.
She ran 37.18 for third. So
both the winners were Kenyan.
Are they from Kenya or do they live in Western Australia?
No, the winner seems, it says here in the news article, Kenyan.
Flown
he did
over
it last. He did it last year as well. He seems to travel around. He did 4 marathons last year.
Where are you finding a 2:24 Kenyan dude? Like to come across to Western Australia for
how does he find the race? I'd love to know. He's ran 2:12 back in 2000.
He's not letting his mates know back in Ethiopia, is he? Or back in Kenya, is he? He's like, I'm keeping this one to myself.
Just a holiday, boys. Just went for sat on the beach.
Yeah, well, we didn't even.
Because that would rank him about what 3,000th in the country.
Less. I reckon they stopped recording after 2:15.
Yeah, and he's she's a 2:28 girl. That's from April to last year. Rabat, Morocco. Yeah, didn't even know it was on. Some good money there. But there'll be deeper fields next year. I'm telling you that now.
Geez, Tim Vincent's. Someone's got into him DMs and said, "Hey, I've got a sneaky 5K for you."
Yeah.
Oh, they've probably reached out and said, "Hey, it'd be good to have a world champs rep as a bit of an ambassador, hype up the event a little bit. We'll fly you over.
We'll make sure no one else enters."
There's $5,000.
If anyone else is listening, we'll also give you a world champs rep next year. Why not run? Maybe guest speaking gig at the pasta party.
What do you reckon I would have come there? Based off my training.
Fit? No, not at the moment. Based off Melbourne shape last year.
You wouldn't have been getting read out.
What? You're kidding.
What did you run at Melbourne last year?
2:32.
Ooh.
No, 2:33 after I saved a bloke's life, gave him CPR, and So
you might make the podium.
Oh yeah. Geez, Croaks, harsh.
Thanks to Axel Coffee for this week's rain news. Check them out, axelcoffee.com.au. I had a few news items written down here, just topics to talk about. No whispers other than the Melbourne Marathon going to 2 days potentially next year. Most of them were spoken about though. But this other one, did you see that all-female meet? Is it Athlos? You see that?
Yeah, I was knowing whether to put those results in, but it seemed fairly niche.
It is fair. I'll quickly go through some of the results, but it was more this flex that I saw from the owner of the event. So Keely Hodgkinson was there. She won over Hunter Bell in 1:56. Faith Kipyegon won the mile in 4:17 over Sergey. But the owner, his name is Alexis Onan. He's married to Serena Williams, and she was there presenting the prizes, which was $60,000 US for the win. And they also got a Tiffany & Co. crown. But the flex that I wanted to talk about, so the Cash app is the major sponsor, and the guy would literally open the app straight away as they cross the line and transfer them $60,000. And then he was screenshotting it and putting it on his Twitter and stuff, as I'm sure a bit of a, what was the other one called? I've forgotten its name already. Grand Slam track. This is how you pay your athletes. So, it was pretty interesting. The long jump was in Madison Square Garden there, under the lights and stuff. So
that's good stuff, that.
Yeah. It got 180,000 views on YouTube. They also threw up 250,000 US for a world record, which it's going to be hard to get after this late in the season to try and get someone go for that. But yeah, I think they've done at least one or two of these before. A live, the stream was really good quality. Ciara, remember Ciara? She was she played a live gig and stuff there as well.
Is it Ciara?
Ciara? You know that song? What was her famous song back in the day?
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube the other night.
Why?
I don't know. I just had a random playlist go up, and I just kept watching them. Yeah.
Thought you and Bree sat down. All right, it's time to open up Ciara on YouTube. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I had for additional news, and I thought that was a pretty good flex from the boss there to be giving out the $60,000 straight away. They also give 10% of their ticket sales back to the athletes. Loose on the loose. What do you got?
Well, I got a couple of things. There's some funny stuff happening at Melbourne Marathon. I was running through the park at one point near the the stadium, Lakeside Stadium, and I was cutting through, and then this guy comes off the course wearing a flag. He was one of the pacers, and he runs straight towards me, and goes past me and runs like into the Albert Park dunny. So imagine that your pace is just running next to you, and all of a sudden like runs directly off course, like sideways across the park to the toilet, and he's got his flag on, and he has to get in the public toilet to try to get inside. I thought, oh, pace has left us here. We're on our own. Thought that was pretty funny. I also saw, actually, this was at the 10K mark, probably a little bit of what Brett Robinson was talking about when they went through the back of the marathon field. So this was about 90 minutes in to the marathon and 30 minutes into the half marathon. A lady was walking along had a marathon bib on, literally just having like a conversation with her friend as she walked along, like laughing and having a great time. And I thought, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like the marathon holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts because of the training they've done, dedicated themselves to this, like for the last however long. They're running as fast and as hard as they can to get to the finish line. That might not be fast at all. And as I say this, the 2 or 3 people next to them were these old Spartans, like they had I think one was like a 35-year Spartan or something, singlet on, and absolutely like gassing themselves, limping along at that pace. And they're old fellas, right? They're going as fast as they could to get through the race within the cutoffs. But this lady was 40 and was she was just out for a walk, and she was FaceTiming, but she'd bought a marathon entry. And I don't know how it sits with me. I mean, she has every right to do that, and she'll finish within the cutoff. But I'm not sure how the person that's absolutely busting their chops to try to get under the 4-hour mark and is feeling about that.
Or even like the fact that it's really hard to get these entries to the events. And it's like you're basically giving somebody who's going out for a walk a spot over somebody who's willing to actually go in there and give it their all.
And this, like, there were walkers in the race who you could tell were doing their utmost to get to the finish as fast as they could. Like they were having a strenuous effort walking. But this was not that. This was dawdling. She might as well have had a latte in one hand, like walking her dog with the other hand. That's the sort of like effort level we were seeing. And I don't know, I felt a little disrespectful to the marathoners around, the Spartans around her. Like they've done however many, 10, 20. They all have different singlets on now.
Bit like Brady in Sydney, doing it easy while everyone else is struggling around them.
Well, it wasn't so easy, fellas. I've been out for the last 3 weeks after that.
I'm surprised you didn't do like a shoulder from like all the.
We don't need. That was old jokes.
You didn't get that part scanned, Moose.
Old jokes.
Also, what else did I see? I saw people starting the race super late. So like
I saw this.
You're like just jogging along.
30 minutes late.
Yeah. So like they're running like 4-minute pace, passing people that are running about, I don't know, probably 7 minutes a K. And they're just like gassing it. So they've obviously slept in or the car didn't start or something. And they're running through the field. It's a long day if that's your day. Your whole day is just passing people.
There was one bloke, I swear, like I'd seen no one for 15 minutes, and then he come up the road. Like I was looking the other way. I'm like, they'll come back this way soon, and he's just like going up the road with a bib on. I
wonder what the cutoff time is for you to actually go across the starting mat and your chip's still working.
I don't know. They may have just. I saw one guy who was clearly not part of the race, but he'd gone to the effort of pinning on the corners eat like little bits of paper on the 4 bits of paper, so it looks like his bib's ripped off. So he was out. He was out running on the course. He may have been pacing someone, and he just didn't want to get called out for not running, for banditing the race. So I mean, if you're going to go to that,
creative.
It's almost like fair play, I reckon.
Give it to him. I saw a couple of influencers out there who I've they come up in my algorithm, and they were struggling. And then you see the reels afterwards, and they look so good. I'm like, I saw you. You were running by yourself. No one was giving you any attention. You looked like you were dying out there. And then the way it's cut together in social media that night, like the day in the life of, and this is me getting ready and running. And I'm like, no one gave a shit about you. And then there's all these comments on there. I was like, this is a different world. Internet world and real life world.
Well, we see like 1% of the population feeds us 99% of the running content that we watch. That's the whole problem with that shit. Because you go out there like yesterday, like you said, and it's full of real people.
Yeah.
Who don't post about their runs and aren't after fucking endorsement deals and don't want to aren't there for the clout or the clicks or whatever. They're literally just there because they love running and challenging themselves.
Yeah. That's good.
That'll do.
Anything else? No, that's it. Listen to question, Croaks. Bring it home.
All right. This episode's list of questions is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And we're going to go with Aaron Wallace's question. What are your thoughts on replacing easy runs with swim squad sessions?
Gets the heart rate up. It's pretty good cross trainer, wouldn't it? No impact on the body.
Yeah. For me, I wouldn't do it because I would want to do something where I'm getting a good cardio workout for 20 to, or at least probably 30 minutes. And my arms, I don't swim enough. So my arms would probably be my limiting factor. So I would do jump on the bike because I can actually replicate the same heart rate on the bike as what I can while I'm running.
The other thing with running is it depends why you're replacing the easy run. If you're replacing the easy run because you're injured a lot and you need to reduce your running, then yes, aerobic workout, sure. But if it's replacing it for some sort of benefit, then no. Running is high impact and there's a lot of bone stress with running, and that's conditioning that helps you as a runner. So if you start replacing those runs with swimming, you're not going to get those adaptions that you need. And that's what we've sort of found I certainly have, is the marathon requires continual pounding and conditioning of the legs, and you do not get that swimming. So most people do not run enough either, by the way.
I guess there's two aspects of it, Moose. If Aaron is capable of handling an extra day of running, then I would definitely do the run over the swim. But if you're only a person who can handle 4 days of running, then cross train on those other 3 days.
It does say replacing easy runs with swim squad session. So I would say no.
There's your answer, Aaron. Thank you for listening to the show, and thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com. Use the code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up? Oh, just on that marathon stuff you're just talking about there, Moose, like people needed to run more. I reckon that, I sat on that Shrine Hill to see the leaders come through to about 3 hours 25. And there wasn't a lot of carnage. I think people are getting better. Maybe it's the shoe technology. Maybe it's just that window. Maybe if I stood there for an extra hour, it would have been a whole different world. But a lot of people ran up that hill really strong and looked really good. And I don't know if the education's better or whatever it is, but I was really pleasantly surprised that the lack of carnage, people collapsing, that kind of stuff that you sometimes see at marathons.
Weather was better?
Weather, yeah.
Okay, also the packs seemed a lot stronger. So pacing. Just pacing was better, I reckon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe there's a lot of people that are, now they're 4 or 5 years into running and not 1 or 2 after COVID. They're smarter. They've got more years of training. They can handle the race more. What's coming up, Croaks? Nothing.
Well, I didn't put anything there. I couldn't think of major events this weekend. Can you?
Nah.
No.
No.
You want to know a shoe launch?
Oh, what do you got coming up, Moose, in the shoe world?
No, I don't know. It's not the Ultra Via Olympus 2 drops. It's not quite on the height radar, but it arrived in store today.
Was that thing Connor Mant's wearing? Is that the Alpha Fly 4?
So, I don't know.
Do you want to patch Jordo in?
Jordo hasn't seen it yet. He's still in the airport.
He'll be designing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's a bit under the wraps for Nike. I haven't seen a lot into the future there, to be honest.
Okay. Worked for Connor Mantz, though. American record.
When you back running, Brady?
Nah, it'll be 3 weeks Wednesday from the scan. I feel like one side's good, the other side, even just a couple of times yesterday, when you got to like just jog across a road kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, this isn't painful, but there's definitely still some awareness there. But yeah, if it takes, I want to go at least 4 weeks. So that will be another week and a half before I may. Ideally, I get to 4 weeks, start a return to run program. But if it has to be 5, has to be 6, I'm all good with it. I'm saying that, but
he's loving his little holiday, isn't he?
Yeah, because I listen to you and I'm like, I do not want this to be a cycle. I know people I know you haven't had bone stress, but it's like, if I need to give it 8 weeks, I'll take 8. Like it's
like a bit of a novelty to him, isn't it?
It still is the novelty.
You weighing yourself?
Yeah, weighed myself the other day. Had not put on, I was exactly the same 2 weeks in, which I think that's a worry sometimes, isn't it? When you don't put on weight.
Well, if you're
not, it's a bit individual. Some people put on weight more than others.
Yeah, but what about gym work? Are you using the time to get stronger?
Nah, I'm on holiday still. I'm in the footy trip kind of mode, sinking beers. I've done a couple of ellipticals, but I should get strong. I should start lifting in the gym. I might start doing that this week. And, getting all those DOM feelings that you hate getting when you're running, be like, we'll get them now. I'm not doing any running. Strengthen those muscles.
Yeah, good idea. Just don't do it where it stresses your injury out.
Yeah.
You might need to talk to someone about it.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to give it at least 2 full weeks of very little elliptical. Don't even think about the bike, just repair mode.
Yep.
And go from there. But by calendar, I've enjoyed having a few things on the calendar, like school camp, like we went fishing this trip the other day, whereas it's a bit light on the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I think this is where it will really smack me when I haven't got distractions. But we'll see. Keep checking in with me, boys. It's taking you 2 hours to do it in this episode, but thank you. See ya, fellas. Have a good night. Have a good week. We'll do it again next week.
See ya.
All right. Ballarat's World-Class Road Running Festival returns bigger and better across the weekend of the 25th and the 26th of April next year. Choose from the full marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K or mile races. Registrations are coming in from all over Australia, so don't delay. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au.